Hey Team Spark, so we're back for another short but sweet video training. You guys had requested a bit of information on the difference between a care specialist and a care partner. So I thought, what better than bringing in Nicole and Mike to help us to look at the difference between them and then go over a bit of a case example on how they have worked together to help support our caregivers and our clients. So we'll start off with some basic questions and we'll get a little more detailed as we go along. So first question, guys, who do you work with? So as a care specialist, Nicole.
So as a care specialist, I work with Mike, the care partner, as well as other care partners. And then I work with the clients. I might come in to see the client one time. I might never see the client. I know for working from kind of the behavior perspective, I like to come and see the clients, but other care specialists may only be doing behind the scenes work. And then I work with you, the caregivers, providing additional support, and you might see me on Slack. We might have a telephone call, or we might meet in person.
Awesome. And how about you, Mike? Who are you working with?
For me, I work with the clients, and then also with the caregivers, you guys.
Awesome. So when do each of you become involved in a client's care? So Mike.
So I become involved from the start. So I would do the intakes and the recruitment, make sure I get the matching process in place. And then I continue along all the way to the end when they either finish care and move on.
So you're kind of start to finish,
finish,
meeting the client for the first time, doing the intake, getting that meet and greet done, and then following up with both caregiver and client.
Exactly.
And Nicole, where do you come in?
So I get involved when I have a phone call with Mike, or Mike gets in touch with me and says, hey, I had this client that might really benefit from your expertise in behavior or the other care specialist expertise in physio, occupational therapy, things like that. And then I stay on the team for as long as needed. Usually it's a short-term type of service, but then I kind of stay in the background on Slack. And so if I see any questions that I might be able to answer, I'll always kind of pop in and provide those answers and extra help.
So you're coming in more once the file's already established, it's gotten going, the care partner knows what the needs are, and you're coming in to support kind of midway through potentially.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. So schedules. Who's doing what with schedules, Mike?
So for me, I'm the one that's kind of involved in everything to do with the schedules, creating the schedules, figuring out what their availability is of the client, and then trying to find caregivers that have that kind of similar availability. So anything that's schedule related would go through me and then go to our level admin staff.
And Nicole, do you dabble in schedules at all?
I do not dabble in schedules. I stay away from schedules.
That's Mike's.
That's Mike's.
Here,
Mike and Jen. What about Slack? So what's involvement? What are each of your roles look like on Slack? So Nicole.
So on Slack, I'm really there to kind of provide extra help and resources. So if you ever kind of have a question, feel free to post it in the client Slack channel, or you can even post it anywhere really, and I'll always kind of chime in with an answer if I have one.
And what about you, Mike?
So for me, I'm the one that just kind of reviews it, keeps an eye on the channels. If things are popping up, just the day-to-day issues, whether it's scheduling or just questions, I'll be the one that kind of chimes in. And then when it's that more specific thing, then that's where I reach out to the specific care specialist that would kind of target that domain.
So with the Slack, the care partners are on each one of their client channels. So any client that a care partner is managing, they're on every single Slack channel, as well as all the general channels. Whereas the care specialist is only a part of those channels for clients that he or she is consulting with. So she's not going to be part of every one of Mike's Slack channel. She's only going to be added to files that she's been brought into and that she's consulting specifically. And then for the care specialists, we also have started our support channels. So we have our support behaviors channel, and we have a channel for each of the care specialists that you guys can ask questions and pick Nicole's brain, and then she'll be sharing resources as well. Okay, recruitment. So what's that look like for a care specialist?
It doesn't look like anything. We don't really do recruitment, so not involved in recruitment.
And Mike?
So for the recruitment piece, once I've completed the intake and gathered information, I would send a list to Rachel, who does all of our recruiting, and then she would create an ad and she's the one that posts it both internally to you guys on the ongoing or the one time. And then also she makes an external ad just in case we don't have somebody that fits the bill. And then through that process, once we have somebody that we think is a good fit, we do a phone screen and a video screen, and then also I would do a phone call with that person. Whether it's an intern person, usually I'd give you guys a call, give you a little bit more information than the blurb that you would have. And from there, if it's a good fit, then we'd arrange time to meet the client. And usually that's anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. And that's just the last kind of ditch effort just to make sure that both parties are comfortable. And once we find that, more I can talk to you about the client, you're going to know so much more when you actually meet the client in person. And then when both parties agree, then that's when we kind of move forward to a concrete schedule and care begins.
Okay, so care partners heavily involved in the recruitment process. They're really the ones that are taking it under their wings to find the client, that right match, whereas care specialists, really no involvement in recruitment. So if you're looking for more files or you have questions about what's coming up next in terms of clients, then you want to be looking to connect with recruitment and the care partners. So I'm hoping that has given us some general information. I've asked Mike and Nicole to talk a little bit about a case example for a client that they've worked on together, so you can kind of get a hands-on approach to how the model worked. So I'll let them take it from here, and then we'll just review quickly at the end who all our care partners and care specialists are here at Spark. So Mike, we'll start with you because really it's the care partner that's often identifying the need for that specialization.
Yeah, so I'll use one of the clients that we actually are working with. So the client, we have somebody that goes in every single morning and every single afternoon for after school support. And this client was doing really well, but there was some behaviors continually happening. So when I saw that this was happening on an ongoing basis, I thought I would reach out to Nicole because she's our behavior specialist. And brought her in. So I talked to her for about 30 minutes, probably giving her a background on the client. And I talked to the family as well, and just to say we have Nicole and what her background was and what the role that she would play. And then she came out and she met with the family. And then from there, she was an ongoing support. And maybe I'll let you kind of take it from there, once you met with the family, what that looked like.
Yeah, so me and Mike went and met with the family, and then I stayed behind and watched a little bit of the session and watched a little bit of the care and created just an observation note. So it's just a note of what I saw and some strategies that I could suggest the team uses to kind of help provide better care and just use some behavior strategies to help make those care sessions a little bit easier for everyone. So I did that, I wrote that up, and then I sent that out to the family first because the family needs to just kind of be aware of everything I'm recommending, and they signed off on it, and then I sent it to the caregivers to read through, and then I'll always offer to meet or a phone call to discuss it. Again, always 100% optional. You never have to feel like you have to meet with me, you have to have a phone call with me to discuss things. If you're happy reading it and you feel like that's good enough, or you're just too busy, that's more than fine. You can always just shoot me questions on Slack if that's a lot easier. So anyways, I'll always offer a meeting. Feel free to say no though. And then I'll just kind of follow up over Slack and over phone calls if needed. And that's kind of where we've been since then, is I'll just kind of follow up on Slack, say, how's it going? I'll ask some specific questions. I love when people tell me things are going great or tell me that things aren't going so well, and then I can help kind of troubleshoot. And then really things have gone really well on this team. Yeah. And things are just going so smoothly that now I just kind of sit in the background, and anytime a question pops up on Slack that I think, oh, I could answer that, or I have a couple of ideas for that, I'll pop in and shout out an answer. I also just keep an eye on the care notes, just in case there's anything that pops up that I think I could help with that as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just noticed, I don't know if it was that file, this morning one of the caregivers or yesterday had said, hey Nicole, what could I do to help with this? and so Nicole just jumped in there and threw out some strategies. So ideally, you know, care partners are identifying needs in their clients, but we also want you guys as the caregivers to feel comfortable messaging the care specialists and picking their brains outside of the care partner. If you feel like you have a question for them, you want to post it on the general channel so everyone can learn, or if you just want to connect with Nicole directly and say, hey, like, I just wanted to pick your brain on this, or I'd love to learn a little bit more about this, that's what she's there for, to teach you guys, to support all our caregivers. So thank you guys for that. This dynamic duo has been doing some awesome work when it comes to our kiddo program. So just to review kind of who our care specialists are and who our care partners are. So we got the fabulous Mike here, and then his counterpart, Erica, who do our kiddo program for care partners. Then in our adult kind of motor vehicle accident, we have Jenna. And then Laura is spearheading the MBA kind of rehab therapy portion. And then we have the amazing Tina out in Kingston that's building her program out there. And then from a care specialist perspective, we've been adding new members to the team, what seems to be every few weeks now. So we have the amazing Nicole spearheading kind of the kids and the behavior focus. We have Chantel, who we heard from, I believe it was last week or the week before, who looks at our physical health and wellness with a specialization. Then we have Olivia, who we can consult for relationships and sexuality questions. And then we're just bringing on board Joel, who's going to be joining us as a care specialist in the acquired brain injury and concussion world. So we're pretty pumped. We have a pretty amazing team, guys, of both care partners and care specialists. So I'm hoping that this short little video and having all of us here has helped you guys kind of decipher between the two. If you ever have questions and you're not sure who to go to, just ask any one of us and we'll definitely point you in the right direction. So that's it from all of us today. And we'll see you at the end of the month for another training behavior 101 with Nicole. Yeah, thanks guys.
Perfect. Thank you.